right, let's go. Let the room fill up. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Got some good news, bad news, all that stuff, right? There we go. Q, what's good? Let's go. All right. All right. Come on. It's okay. I feel y'all. I feel everybody that's here is watching right now. I feel you. All right. My name is Law Nation, L-A-W Nation. And with that being said, this is the time whereas you know for sure you did the right thing, right? This is the time where whether or not you like it or not, you would know whether or not you did the right thing. So the Cowboys place, let me blow this out, man. All right, so the Cowboys place Chidobe Awuzie on IR. How long, Law? Well, they got this new system that's going on, and their IR is anywhere for 3 weeks. Due to the new rulings or what have you. And it could be a situation where that's how long a hamstring occurs, right? It takes about 3 to 4 weeks, sometimes a little longer, depending on the muscle tissues that you have in those areas. So it can take a little bit longer than 3 weeks. And then we got to include, too, the recovery time on how can you be football ready, right? So there's a process within the process of it. Within the same breath, the Cowboys elevated or promoted Saivion Smith. He's been promoted to the 53-man roster here. And let me just pull this up so you guys can see. Thank everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys that's watching. Dallas Cowboys has also called up Deontay Burton. You guys remember him. I don't know which number he's going to wear, but during practice or during training camp, he was wearing number 33. He bounced to team. He's from the Texans or what have you, his rookie year. And he's been on this team, I think, for a year and a half now. And, of course, tackle Eric Smith is now on the practice squad or what have you for this week's game. Both players must return to the practice squad the following Sunday game, though. So they're utilizing the weaponry that we have as relates to those parameters. But this is not a time to look at this thing and say, well, this team is trash. This team is going to go to the wayside. No, this is a time to really see how this coaching staff can do one thing. Adjust, do 2 things, make those adjustments and figure out how we can move these chess pieces around. Remember, this is chess, not checkers, right? Can anybody disagree? This is chess, not checkers. Really appreciate you, Jessica. Really appreciate you, Derek. Thank you so much for tuning in. Here's another thing that I want to say too. Far as people, looking for validation. Validation is only good for parking. And I got to say this is a real talk conversation. It doesn't matter who comes out with the news first. And shout out to the Cowboys Network, man. He's with the wonderful information on Instagram. Check out the Cowboys Network. That's where I got that excerpt from. But I want to talk to you guys from man-to-man situation. It doesn't matter who comes out first with the information, right? It doesn't matter how many contacts in your phone that you have, right? It does not matter who you get the information from, right? As long as it's facts, and as long as you can stand firm with what you believe in, I believe that man should talk like that, but I don't think that people should circumvent their conversations and speak in circles, if that makes any sense to you all. Because I believe that you should look at a certain situation and say, yeah, These are what I believe on or believe in, and you shouldn't have to excoriate or admonish or cast aspersions upon anybody else that does the similar content. I'm not going to say the person's name, but when I see them in person, trust me, I'm going to say, hey, you don't have to really beat down another person to help elevate your thought track on something, you see. Because what happened here is that I get inundated or I get a lot of information to be circumvented and pushed over to my page about that stuff, So I don't like it because I would rather for somebody to say it to my face, right? So that's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm not breaking news law, right? That's why I don't do the breaking news type of situation. Now, I will report from what I heard. That's 9 times out of 10 of what the information. And not everybody knows what type of contact that they have with the team. A lot of people don't know that I got relatives that play on the team, so there's a lot of stuff that goes unseen, Cowboy Nation. Here's the thing. They say hindsight is 20/20, right? They say a lot of things. When you look at something, you'll say, man, if only I knew this, I wouldn't have said that, right? But when you get wiser and understanding of your words, you craft them better because you know what's on the other side, because you got inside source, inside information. So that's what I'm saying. That was a grown man talk for that session right there. That's what all I got to say. It wouldn't take you guys long to figure it out. I got faith in these young guns. This is from Powell. Really appreciate your savage time for your mind. What's good? Chinese checkers. Chinese checkers is pretty dope, huh? Dallas Cowboys, King Beerus. What's up, man? Dak Prescott got this. Yes, we need to get this dub tomorrow. We need to figure out how this team can work together. We got young guns that's on this team, like the Diggs. We know he's battling through some certain injuries or what have you. We do know that even when we look at this complexity of this team, we can say, well, we got some veteran guy named Brandon Carr out there, right? We got some veteran guy that can probably help us out in a pinch if we need to push this thing down. Savage Time, really appreciate you. Needed bad. Derek Beavers. Yes, we do. We do. Edwin Singleton. What's going on, Law Nation? My Cowboys. Brother, yes. Saginaw, in the house. What's good with you, man? OG Whitfield. What's good, fam? All right, so I'm going to let you guys do the homework on who I'm talking about, but it is what it is. I'm not going to give the person's energy right now. We got to be focused on this game. We got to be focused on how we can win. But you guys know I don't really run for anything, That's my calling card. I've been one of those guys that I really look at every side of a coin. I look at both sides of the equation. I sit back and I say, yeah. And the craziest thing of it all, and this is why I love the live, because when you live, you speaking straight from your heart and your mind. You meditating on your thoughts and you put them together like a beautiful bow tie. And you say, man, let me hear that music again. Boy, it just make you want to, hey. And you tell them, yeah, come on. 1, 2. Ain't no party like a cowboy party, 'cause a cowboy party don't stop, right? Y'all saw that beat coming. That beat go hard, though, right? So we want to have fun, Cowboy Nation. We need to keep that energy. Don't give them energy, Law. This is Derek. Yes. I don't give them energy. Carr covered DK Metcalf last year when Carr was on the Ravens. Didn't do half bad of a job. Do you think DK got a lot better from last year? Yeah. DK, he still round his routes, right? Football speed in the NFL is a whole lot different from the college or the collegiate, if you want to use it in those terms, speed. So it takes time for rookie wide receivers to get adjusted to the game, right? And normally it's a 3-year marker. This guy, DK Metcalf, he's blessed to have a coach that's understanding. He got a prolific quarterback that can get him the ball. And out of his route tree, do he have to run all of the routes in the tree? No. He can just pick your 2, pick your 3. Now, I got to bring some objectivity into this thing. Carr last year, yes, he had a different front. He had a different linebacking situation. He had different helps around him. So maybe, just maybe, he played it in a different way. But we don't have those type of resources now. But I will say this. It's good for young wide receivers to pick up the craft and do better their second year, third year, and beyond, but not just stop there, because you, as a wide receiver, you got to utilize the entire field. You got to understand to play with leverage. You got to understand where it looks like with a zone, right? You got to understand how the opposition is playing you, especially if it's a man-to-man. Where do they like to bait you in? Where are they trying to squeeze you at on the side of the field? Do you have to cut in off of your breaks? Do you have to give them one look how you come off the line, opposed to another look after you come out to the line once they pick that up? And as a defensive back, we're looking for tendencies, whether or not if it's your left foot that you're leading off from, or if it's your route, if your right foot, or if it's the route concept that the opposing team, well, the other side of the field is running. You got to look at all of those things. You got to look at all of it. We independent on Facebook right now, King. Really appreciate you, though. Really appreciate you, though. So we got to look at the entire route tree. We can't just look at a piece of the route tree from a defensive perspective. So what can DK Metcalf do to hurt the Cowboys? Well, here's what I said earlier today. We got to understand that we always have to have a spy on Russell Wilson. We do. Hey, he's a guy that can kill you with those little tiny legs, and they're allowing him to cook right now. So we have to make sure that we have a spy on him. I don't want our DBs in man-to-man coverage, all of them, including the safeties or what have you, with their back turned towards Russell, because he will eat you alive in those fashions. If we are not getting enough pressure, Russell Wilson, when he can see those numbers, he knows for sure that the DB don't know where these routes are going. So that's a situation where we will have to make sure that we get in the right direction. We make sure that maybe you can press or play man-to-man at the corners, but make sure that those safeties are playing some type of zone concept. Look, Rob, LOC, man, really appreciate you. So for the $2 donation, man, really appreciate you. So who are we going to have at corner? I'm thinking that we will have either Jordan Hip Pocket Lewis, or we will have, dare I say, of course, Diggs. But let me pull up this list again and show you guys what we have here. Cowboy Nation, when you look at this situation, Saivion Smith, he's been promoted to the 53-man roster, but that does not mean that he will be on the 46 active day.
Do you think J-Lu can hold Lockett?
Oh, we better hope that J-Lu can hold Lockett. Lockett is one of those quick twitch type of route guys. He's dangerous, especially off his release at the top of his route. You really don't get a beam or dictations where he's going to go. But I would say if we have the safety playing the responsibilities like they supposed to and could, then we will be okay. We Nah, King, I'm not on Facebook. This is independently on YouTube right now. Law, do you think J-Lu can hold him? Yes, like I said, yes, I think he can. The yes, both have backs. Yeah, Jalen gotta be the spy. I would rather have Joe as the spy. I'd rather have Jalen doing his responsibilities of wherever they line him at on the field. But, it's one of those situations where when I think of this team, this is going to be, regardless of how we look at it, this is going to be a threat on our defense because of the way our defense been playing. I think that the way that the Seattle Seahawks play, in a sense, I still think that Russell will get anywhere north of 250 to 300 yards or more. I'm still thinking that he will still do that, just based off of the previous two games that we played in. And it's a road game. The last road game that we won was in November the 17th in 2019, right? Last year. And that was against the Detroit team. So we got to make sure that we are ready. We got a hobbled situation on our defense, yes. But I will say this. They're not all in top shape themselves. They don't have a guy that you can say, well, he's going to be a shutdown corner. So they're faced with their warts too. Now they do have a guy that wears 3-3 on the back of his jersey, right? Or the front. And he's been listening to, the press conferences and the clippings of people saying, hey, we don't need him. We don't need a Jamal Adams, right? So if you don't think that he's going to take this game personally, I don't know who you are. He's going to take this game personally. He's going to want to show and showcase to the world that, hey, he came here to play. He came here to make an impact, and he's trying to make something happen out there on the field. Now, with that being said, hopefully his kill or his mind, his zeal or whatever he tried to put out there, hopefully he can try to prove a point and press a little bit. That's to be the hopeful part of it. And maybe, just maybe, we were seeing a Blake Bell or a Dalton Schultz vertically up the field, which they can do in a pinch. I think that they could do in the pinch. I would love to see Jarwin out there. Boy, oh boy. But he's hurt, right? Against this particular defense. But I trust, and I'm going to say this, I trust our wide receivers more than theirs, right? I trust our wide receivers more than a DK Metcalf and also the Lockett kid. Now, I just think that this will be the type of gameplay that we will play. It will be a high point game. Now, it'll be crazy if tomorrow it'll be one of those 12 to 14 type of games. It'll be crazy. But I don't see it being that way. Watch this game. Something gonna be. Oh man, the U is watch it gonna be like something like 17 to 14, low scoring defensive battle. Laugh out loud. Nah, I just don't see it that way. The U, Mike, meticulous detailed podcast. Man, that's a hell of a name. Secondary is really banged up. The way these secondaries are banged up, and we're so focused right now on what the wide receiver is going to do. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Ezekiel Elliott get north of 100 yards this game. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Their front four is not that great. And I know we have some warts on our offensive line, and I would like to see if Brandon Knight can really match up what he did last week. Repeatance, Popovor. I would love to see that. Our 88 sounded like he's ready to battle Jamal. Ooh, I can't wait to see that. Cowboys abroad. Our 88, man, I can't wait to see it. Time of possession. We can say that. My thing is with this particular team versus a Russ, and they said let Russell do his deal, let Russell do his magic. I think that the more we make it a one-dimensional game, if we can stop the run and if everything is dependent on Russell Wilson to throw, we win in this game. If we can stop them from running the ball, we win in this game. And that's just me speaking with bold convictions and the courage of my heart, right? Because that's what I believe the Cowboys wanted to be. Stop the run, forces them to pass. I know it sounds kind of weird, but if we forces them to pass, it's the quick 3 and outs, and the quicker we get the ball back to the offense, we got a pound action that we can do with Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, we got some yak action that we can do with CD Lamb, Michael Gallup. Yeah, Paul, really appreciate you so much, man. He said, facts, law. Feed to Zeke. And I love what Mike McCarthy had to say. Hey, when he first got onto this team, what he said, this team would still be focused around Ezekiel. Now, by natural order of things, because of the first 2 games that we played in, yes, it's been crazy, but we can still look at it like this. You give Ezekiel Elliott those touches now, Slim Zeke, he just got to hold on to the ball. Hold on to the ball, Zeke. Shoo. Never underestimate our opponents. Zeke need to explode. Yes, Nicholas. Yes, indeed. All right, so thank you, everybody who just now tuned in. I see some more people are jumping into the house. I really appreciate you all. Let me pull this up again. Let me do a quick recap. All right, the Cowboys moved Awuzie to IR, and Awuzie will miss a minimum of 3 games. That's the new IR rulings. So he'll be ready in 3 weeks, supposedly. Normally, I would throw in an extra week because that's the recovery situation. So I'm looking at this. When I see 3 games, I'm looking at 4. Cornerback Saivion Smith has been promoted. Shout out to him. Let's go get him a cigar, right? of some celebratory other things, right? He made the 53-man roster. Now, who is Saivion Smith? I do have a quick excerpt of him, not a full film session, but I do have a quick excerpt of him somewhere on the YouTube pages. Just type in his name, type in Law Nation. You will see he's a special teams guy. He comes from the Nick Saban-esque system. So he's a disciplined type of corner / safety. But I would look at him more so as a developmental guy. But who knows? He might have developed under this particular coaching staff. Maurice Linguist might have helped him out in so many terms or what have you. And the Dallas also called up Deontay Burton and also tackle Eric Smith from the practice squad for this game. Now, after Sunday, they got to go back to the practice squad or what have you. But I don't know whether or not they're going to be on the active 46-man roster or 47, however that number goes. But Deontay Burton, he is a special teams guy. Small snippets out there on the NFL.com. I didn't really do any film sessions, but I looked at his skill set from when he played for the Texans, a few preseason games. It's not a lot to go off of, and I can't lie to kick it to you guys. I can't. But he's been called up, so maybe, just maybe, after this week we will have tape on him, right? And Eric Smith, I don't have any information on him, just to be honest. So that's what we have from there, Cowboy Nation. Feed Zeke and Russell off the field, meticulous Cowboy. Jessica, really appreciate you for all of the stars. PVO, positive vibe only. I got a few more minutes here, so we're going to keep this thing going. I like the new 3-week IR rule. The NFL should keep that rule going on forwarding. Cowboys abroad, I really like that. Because so many times we get nicks and bruises and happenings and going on. I really think that they need to revamp that rule and keep that rule there. 3 weeks is because the season is so short, and what IR designated to return used to be 6 weeks, and then you can only use it like once or twice, and 6 weeks is forever. 6 weeks is equivalent to probably 30 games in basketball, right? It's just forever, and somebody can do the real math, but it's just crazy how long that can be. Harold Jones law, man, if Dak gonna got to that Mamba mentality or what? Yeah, he says, Dak has got that Mamba mentality. Yeah, Dak Prescott got that crazy Mamba mentality. Now, my only thing is, just to be objective with everything, and we all waiting for it. We waiting for it. But see, there's 2 type of people. There's people that's hoping and wish that he fail and fall on his face. And there's people that, although they have their reservation, but they hoping and wishing that he can figure things out and be this great of a great quarterback for the Cowboys and get us multiple Super Bowls. Those 2 type of people. I don't think that right now, going into his 5th year, that there's somebody in the middle. If you are in the middle with Dak Prescott, put an M in the chat box. Just put middle. Now, I'm in the middle with Dak Prescott. I'm not too far left. I'm not too far right. I'm just flat out in the middle. I don't know who he is right now. You see, this game right here, to me, would be a good situation because even though we started off slow with Dak Prescott last week, if he can match that same energy for this week, as far as what he did in the second half, Dak, if he can do that, for this week, oh my goodness. And I don't want to hear the news from the major networks and beyond and the people that just really don't or can't stand Dak Prescott will look at this thing and say, well, it's because the Seattle Seahawks defense was trash, right? Now just give the man credit. It's a road game. It's COVID year. Give people credit when they go on the road and they put up good stuff, Let me see. I got Derek. He's in the middle. Vidal. He's in the middle. J Law. He's in the middle. Louise. He's in the middle. And we got a lot of Hendricks. He's right in the middle, which is not bad. It's flat out not bad. At least let me say this. What game would be the determining factor to sway you one way? Because put it like this. This could be the game that can sway you one way. Coming off of an emotional win, right? Facing against a team that made it to the playoffs, so it's a playoff caliber team, right? On the road. Going against Russell Wilson, who they getting high praises to, the best quarterback in the NFL right now to most people's eyes, right? And I know it's not quarterback versus quarterback on the field at the same time, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? So if Dak Prescott can match up his performance from last week without the warts of fumbling the ball or what have you, will that get you a little bit out of the middle category? But if Dak Prescott lay an egg against the Seahawks tomorrow and give you 3 interceptions in the fumble, what have you, which will be odd for Dak Prescott performance against this particular defense, then you would say, well, I'm out on Dak. I'm done with it, man. Come on. Law, you can't keep selling me this now. Come on, man. It's been 4 years going into 5, So at some point, we as fans will have to look at this thing objectively and say, okay, I'm tired of being in the middle with Dak Prescott. When he's going to show me something. When he's going to answer or ask the call or, or answer the call or what have you. I'm tired of calling and there's no rings. So is this the pivotal game, right? Back-to-back consecutive performance of good stuff. Yeah. This game, Lord, is Paul. Yeah. Why not get Eric Reed? This is from Orwin. I don't know about that. They ain't going to do that down here in Dallas land. We would have to be 0-3 for them to make moves like that, right? This game is about momentum if he's win. Yeah. Let me see who said that this game is about momentum. Choose easy. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point because right now they're saying, right, that's the news that the Dallas Cowboys can't beat a above 500 team, right? And this game is similar to when we faced the Saints last year. We beat up on the first 3 opponents, and it was going into week 4, I believe, right? And we were facing the Saints team, who was I think they was 2-1 or 3-1, whatever their record was at the time. They only lost 1 game, and that game was a momentum changer, right? That game, we didn't get a chance to really showcase all of our talent. Although, just to be really up, down, in the middle with it, of course, Ezekiel Elliott, they called a fumble, which really didn't happen, but they called a fumble anyway. There was 2 offensive pass interference on that particular game. So momentum carried on when the Cowboys lost to the Saints. A lot of people was like, believe it or not, that year, I'm out on Dak, because they started buying into the narrative of Dak Prescott can't beat a team that's over 500, and he laid an egg against a team that quote unquote had a backup quarterback. I recall remembering people saying that, we would do better with Teddy Bridgewater, those type of people, right? So those are the people that was on the far left of Dak Prescott. Not on the right side, but it was far left of them, right? They were not in the middle. So now it's time to see, okay, if we have that same type of game now, will people still get out of the love cycle with Dak Prescott? That's all I'm saying, right? Let's get some turnovers tomorrow. Let's score early and often. This is from Blake A. Yeah. Law, when we defeat the Seattle, whoo, I love it. Asmodeus, thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be established. Law, when we defeat Seattle, they'll come up with something else. Yeah, they will continue to come up with something else, right? That's just how it goes, man. They got to sell stuff, right? I'm quite sure that Atlanta Falcons was a dominant team, good team last week, but when we beat them, it's really they didn't have any offense. Julio Jones was injured, and the Atlanta Falcons gave the game away to the Cowboys, right? They didn't want to really force those fumbles, but they just really want to make it dramatic so they can give the Cowboys the game, right? That's what people said. Ripley's Believe It or Not. Ripley's Believe It or Not. Same thing will be said about this team. When we win, right? The Cowboys gave, the Seattle Seahawks gave the Cowboys the victory. They didn't earn it, right? It was all written before they played. It's crazy. Dak need to use his legs more. RC Cowboys, yeah, I believe he's going to use his legs more. 30 minutes, Cowboy Nation. I'm going to try to squeeze out another 5. I got some things I got to do in a few. If Dak beats Russ, Kyler, or one of the other two, he has made me solid, or he has he has me sold. Okay, this is from Edmund. Okay, Vidal. Yeah. He will have you sold. Yeah. Dak need to use his legs. Yeah, I said that one already. It's puzzled me how our fans hate our players more than other fan bases. This is from K. Hayes. Yeah, I believe it comes from the resources of the NFL Network and ESPN, First Take, Fifth Take, whatever they call it, Speak for Yourself, and all of the national media. I got to point the finger at them, right? Because they do these hot takes or what have you, and there's only 5 to 10 minutes of it. But we will hear so many people regurgitate what they said, right? We will hear so many people like the empty calorie stats or what have you. That came from who? You guys can post the name in the comment box, right? Or the dink and dunk or the dink and dak. That came from who? The dink and dunk I know for sure came from Colin Cowherd. But when I look back at old films of Joe Montana, when I look at old films of even Tom Brady, for crying out loud, or when I look at other quarterbacks like the Big Ben Roethlisberger, the Russell Wilsons, and when I look at their first 4 years, they all dinked and they all dunk. That's what quarterbacks do. They set it up so that they can kill you with the deep pass eventually down the field. And then I think Shay Sharp, he coined the phrase empty calories or what have you, or these are garbage time stats or what have you. But when we, remember I said validation is only good for parking, but when we pull up the facts and say, well, nah. Dak bulk of his yards last year came in the third quarter. Empty calorie stats will be coming in the fourth quarter when the game is so far out of reach that's when you start throwing the ball down the field, and they playing prevent defense. But they don't listen to us, Those guys got millions of views, millions of followers, right? So they will hold on to their every word like it's the gospel. They will. Let me see what we have over here. Hey, Sheila. Oh, Sheila. Hey, I appreciate you. Edwin, what's good with you? Law Nation, when Dak reigned, Dakota Prescott beat the Seattle Seahawks. Tomorrow, we all will be talking heads and will not give Dak the credit for the win. Yeah. I saw, I got a couple more minutes. I saw an excerpt or a quick video on who is more important on this team, like Ezekiel Elliott or Dak Prescott. like that was really talking about that, like who's more important. I'm like, come on now. Come on. We love Ezekiel Elliott. We do. But the quarterback of everybody's team will still be the important factor of the team. The quarterback is. Now, we can argue Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith. Troy Aikman was still important. But they work together. There's no, I'm bigger than you or I'm little than you. Emmitt Smith was a dog, a workhorse for the team. Not for his individual self. It was for the team. But what happened here is then in the following new decade, They look at only Tom Brady and say he was the most important person on that team. And they dismiss Ty Law, they dismiss the coach. They dismiss the running backs that he had, right? They dismiss the entire defense. Boy, I tell you the truth. J Farm, what's good? Law, give us a bold prediction for the score prediction. Cowboys win, baby. I can't give the bold prediction. I just know we just gotta find the victory. It's somewhere in there. It's somewhere in there, right? It's kind of like eating something and then you saying, well, the meat is somewhere in there. The meat's somewhere in there. Keep eating. It's somewhere in there. You on a diet. Shay Sharp, yeah. Brian Golston. But I like Shay Sharp opposed to Stephen A. Smith, because there's no analytics involved, right? It's no it's coyness to me. It's pandering because of the fact that he would say this right here: Cowboys are an accident waiting to happen. And then he'll look at his roster list and say, see, and laugh at the fact that we got an injured player, and then flip it and say, well, it's not that the player that I don't like, it's the actual fan base that I don't like. And he would talk all of that news and noise about the player, spit all type of crazy stuff, but when they in the physical form, he folds up like a wallet. You notice he never go back and forth with the football player when they mad at him, right? But he would jokingly go back and forth with him. But at least Shay Sharp, when he brought old boy D-Law on the show, or he brought in, I think, Xavier Woods on the show, he kept that same energy, right? But it's all fun and game, right? It's all fun and game. Law, speak on that TD Schultz count. Oh, man. I did the film breakdown on my IG account, and it's also on my Facebook account. I didn't post it to the YouTube world because of the fact that YouTube be crazy. But I said that Schultz, there was a pass that was at least 20 yards or more, believe it or not, and the way Schultz, off his release, he broke down at the top and he turned his hips so quick. He was so open. When he reached out those hands, those mittens, the ball was right there. He didn't allow the ball to be greeted by his body. Caught the ball with his mittens and brought it in. And I said, man, that's a big time throw by Dak Prescott, and plus a big time catch by Schultz. Because with the way he stuttered at the top of his route, the opposition didn't know whether or not he was going to take that route to the inside or the out. And he hit it with the hit. When he sunk his hips like that and flipped it inside, but he kept his shoulder still drift. That is a pro move right there. Sinking your hips, drift with your shoulders this way, and still cut inside. Man, and he was there for the opening. Man, I can do a whole film session on that. Thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation film session, right? All right, Cowboy Nation, I got to do some crazy things over here with the family. We rewatch. I got my mom in town or what have you. We rewatch Mulan about 2 times. It's a good movie, by the way. The actual movie Mulan. It was really good, and they just got through finished watching The Last Dance. I saw that many a time. It's an older movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a pretty good movie, Last Dance. I know y'all seen that movie, right? But outside of that, Cowboy Nation, let's find this way to get this victory. Let's go. Let's continue to grind and shine, Cowboy Nation. Hey, it is what it is, right? With Awuzie. It is what it is. Let's continue to grow, Cowboy Nation. Let me find my outro music, and let's go. Here we go. Hey. That's what we gonna hear tomorrow, baby. Hey. Come on. For injuries, tell me not, and mourn for numbers. Life is but an empty dream, for a soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, and life is earnest, and the grave is not his goal. Dust thou art, to dust returneth, was not even spoken of the soul. In this world's broad fields of battle, and bivouacs of life, be not like a dumb-driven cattle, but be a hero in the strife. Lives of great men all remind us this: we can live our lives sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints in the mighty sands of time. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let that sink in.